A few months ago, I had the immense privilege of teaching on Old Testament wisdom literature, which was super fun. As I was preparing to teach on Job, I really benefited from the work of Christopher Ashe, who's done some excellent work on that book. And one of the things I learned from him relates to Job's friends. And when they show up at the end of chapter 2, they sit on the ground with Job and they don't speak with him for 7 days because his suffering from this just unimaginable loss is so great. And usually when I hear that passage talked about, it's thought about in terms of these friends are being really caring to Job. They're sitting with him, they're listening to him. It doesn't really say in that passage that Job was speaking, but Christopher Ashe argues that that perspective is thinking from more of a modern lens, where we've learned a lot about caring for people, particularly through the field of psychology and how we think about counseling and mental health, that we need to empathize with people. We need to sit with them and what they're feeling. We need to listen to them and not be too quick to speak. And those are really, really important points as we're caring for people, right? So we think, oh, these friends were doing such a great job of sitting with Job and what he was going through, and then they opened their mouths and everything went really wrong after that point. Christopher Ashe argues that maybe we shouldn't be thinking about it through that modern lens, as important as those truths are in caring for people. He thinks that what's going on is that the friends are actually sitting Shiva. They're participating in this Jewish mourning ritual, basically, or an ancient mourning ritual, where they're sitting with Job as though he's already dead. And that is a very different picture of that passage and probably fits better with the character of the friends as portrayed throughout the rest of the book. So whether Ashe is right or wrong, I think it's important to remember we need to be careful not to read too much of our cultural lens into the Bible, which is written at a very different time to a very different culture. Of course, we can't do that perfectly, but it's good to have the reminder that it's written to a different world. And yeah, maybe Job's friends sitting silently with him is not a good thing at all.